So guys, I'm going to be explaining chapter 1 of information systems for COMM 226. So let's look at a lot of this chapter is just definitions of what's some types of systems or hardwares. So let me just get into it. So digital transformation, it is the business strategy that leverages IT to improve employee, customer, and business relationships. So managing information systems, well, first we have the IS, which is information systems, have a great value to organizations. And the two, it's MIS, which is managing information systems, helps users with problems. So let's look at our first, I guess, little part of chapter 1. It'll be split in many categories. So 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So we'll be going at 1.2. So overview of computer-based systems. So data items. So this is the description of things, events, activities, and transactions that are recorded, classified, and stored. Information. It's data organized to have meaning and value. So let me just highlight that for you guys. Meaning. I'll make it bigger. Of meaning and value. So an example of this is, let's say, an example of information is a GPA. So GPA is data, but a student's name with their GPA is an information. So just the number of GPA, let's say like 3.5, would be classified as a data. But when you combine a student's name, so let's say me and my GPA, that would be considered information. So let me highlight that. So the combination of a name and a GPA is the information. So knowledge, it's a data proceed to convey understanding, experience, accumulated learning, and expertise as applied to business problems. So an example of this is schools see higher GPA get higher jobs. So it's pretty much just understanding the information that you're learning. So GPA. So the example, is schools get higher jobs. So computer-based information system, CBIS. So it's an information system that uses computer technology to perform its intended class. So I'll highlight that. Uses computer technology. So let's look at hardware. What's the processor, monitor, keyboard, and printer? Together, these devices accept, process, and display data and information. So let me highlight that for you guys. They accept, they process, and they display data. So let me highlight data as well. Display data and information. Make sure that's also important. So software, well, this program or collection of programs enables the hardware to process the data. So I'll highlight process the data. And the reason why I'm doing different colors for every information is just so you guys can see it better visually. So you know that purple, when I highlight something in purple, that's one key part of the information. And if I do another one with orange, that's just another. There's no like combination of colors that mean one thing over another. It's just me choosing a random color so you guys can visualize it better. So database, well, it's a collection of related files or tables containing data. So let me highlight that. Files or tables containing data. Right, so let's look at network. It's the system that enables computers to share resources. So sharing is really important. So the procedures, it's instructions combining these components to process information and output. So instructions. I should do another color for you guys. Let me try to delete that. So instructions. I'll make it bigger. And then combining these components to process information. So process. Alright, so let's look at information systems that function among multiple organizations. So enterprise resource planning, ERP. Let me just check if I'm recording. Yes, sir. Alright. So enterprise resource planning, ERP, is to correct the lack of communication among functional areas. So correct communication. So this greatly increases organizational productivity. So increases productivity. So transaction process systems, the TPS, supports the monitoring, collection, storage, and processing of data from the organization's business transaction to generate data. So let me highlight that. So the monitoring, the collection, the storage, and the processing of data from the organization's business transaction to generate. So we want to generate data. All right. So let's look at inter-organizational information, IOSS. So this supports many inter-organizational operations where supply chain, that's important, supply chain is best known. So this supports the supply chain management. So what is supply chain? Well, it's the flow of materials, so flow of materials, information, money, and services from suppliers. So that's really important of the supply chain to learn. So support for organizational employees. So information systems that support employees in the organization. So we're going to be talking about how it supports employees. So knowledge workers, well, financial and marketing analysts, engineers, lawyers, and accountants. They act as advisors to middle managers and executives. So that's just a definition. Business analytics. Sorry. So the BA, computer-based support for complex, non-routine decisions for middle managers and knowledge workers. So support complex decisions. That's what business BA is. So expert systems, ESS, it's applying reasoning, capabilities, knowledge, and expertise within a specific domain. So applying reasoning, capabilities, knowledge, and expertise. So dashboard, it's a rapid access to timely information and direct access to structured information in the form of reports. So there's many types of dashboards. So I believe an example, it's not the same example, but I guess the typical dashboard that you could think of is like in cars where it displays information. I'll highlight that right now. So your dashboard in your car displays information, but it's not in the form of a report. So there's many types of dashboards depending on the type of it. So yeah, and as you guys can see from the definition, it's rapid access, which on your car it's always there. Your speed is always shown, and yeah. So an example of organizational information systems, you guys can take a look at this. You either can pause the video and let me make it bigger for you guys. You guys can see it. So yeah, I would suggest I won't go through all of these because yeah, it'll take long, but for you guys, just pause the video. You can learn the type of system. So I'll highlight the type of system, the function of that system, and it provides an example. So let's just take a look at the first one, transaction processing system. The function of this is for transaction data. An example of this is just the checkout point of any businesses like Walmart, like a grocery store. So now we're going to be going into 1.3, where how does information technology impact organizations? So these examples will make you aware of just how important IT is to organizations. So first, IT impacts entire industries. So software tools and internet-based services enabled companies to launch new startups. So that's very important. You can see a very big change in the internet throughout the years of its invention. So many industries are now powered by virtual services. So that is true. So the industry example, I'll just highlight industry example because it's very important to learn about the types of industries that have been impacted, and these examples have been heavily impacted by IT. So the book industry, the music industry, cinema industry, I guess with Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and all of those. Video games, how it used to be on an arcade, but now it's just on your computer, on your phone, whatever it is now, just highly accessible. So IT reduces the number of middle managers. So This increases the number of employees who can report to a single manager. So that's self-explanatory. So IT changes the manager's job. So IT provides information to managers a lot more quickly. So quickly. IT also helps managers manage large information. So helps. I'll do another color just for you guys since it's a different point. Helps large information. Well, helps manage, I'll say, large information. So 1.4, importance of information systems to society. So this is going to explain why IT is important to society as a whole. So IT affects our quality of life. So work time can be expanded to 24 hours. So work time, I'll just say that. It also provides flexibilities to employees. So flexibility, and place employees on a constant call, never truly away from the office. So this, I'll just highlight constant call, because this is more of a negative, and it's just meaning that since it's so accessible, like a Zoom call, a phone, like just calling the person, texting them, that you're never really away from the office if you're always able to access it from wherever you're at. So IT can impact the healthcare. Well, it has made major improvements in the healthcare delivery. IT makes better and faster diagnosis. So faster diagnosis. So now I'm going to look at the chapter 1 summary. So number 1, identify the reasons why being an informed user of information systems is important in today's world. So you will understand what is behind the applications of software you use. So let me highlight understand. So right now I'm talking about like why it's important to learn all this stuff that I'm talking about. So to understand the applications and softwares, and to go more in depth, an example of this would be database programs. So Excel, it's very important to learn how Excel works, why it works, and everything about it, so you could be more developed and more informed on its services and how it works in general. So web browsers is very important to learn, because you could see how they manage their information. So let's say keeping your information secure is a very big thing nowadays. So I'll highlight that for you guys. Learning how web browsers work, or just anything on the web in general, how it works with your information, or how to keep a server or a website running is very important for a company. So communication platforms, so like Messenger, Facebook, I guess maybe Instagram if you have like group chats on that. That's very important to learn why and how you're receiving their information of what they texted directly to you and like immediately. So it's very important for that. So to improve the quality of those applications. So that's a good example. So improve the quality. So learning information systems and information technologies is important. So let's say if we're doing my example, improving dashboard structure for easier data reading. So let's say I'll use the example of the dashboard of a car. If you know how to drive a car and you're always looking at the dashboard, then you'll know that what you see is important, and things that are on the dashboard are sometimes not as important to see. So improving the way that it looks can be easier for you and have a better experience for driving, and this can translate to your company, because if you learn about this, then you know how to improve customer satisfaction for them using your application or whatever you're providing to them in your business. So it keeps up with rapid development in existing information technologies and new ones. So this is important with the growing of I'll give an example of AI. So with ChatGPT, so rapid development. So you want to stay on par with what everything's happening, since AI is developing at a very large rate, in a very rapid rate, you want to be part of what's new, since its impact can have a very large impact on your job and everything. So understand the impact of new and improved technologies will have on your organization. So this is important. So impact. So this is important for a business, because you'll understand why you need a new information system, why you need a new information technology system, and you'll know the benefits it can have from developing new ones or improving old ones. So it plays a key role in managing information systems in your organization. So yeah, that's also very important. So 2, describe the various types of computer-based information systems in an organization. So we're going to be looking at information systems. So the first one is transaction processing system, so TPS. I'll just highlight the abbreviated version of the system. So TPS, it's monitoring data, collecting data, supporting data, and processing data. So transaction processing systems. So now I'll go into functional area information systems, FAIS. I'll highlight that. So this supports a particular functional area, and yeah, that's pretty much the definition of it. So inter-organizational information systems, so IOSS, highlight that. Support supply chain management. It's best known for supporting the supply chain management. So enterprise resource planning, ERP systems. This corrects a lack of communication. So I think this is one of the first things that I mentioned in the video. It corrects the lack of information. So I'll highlight ERP. So business intelligence, BI systems. Right here, BI. This supports for complex, non-routine decisions. Expert systems, ESS, is the attempt to duplicate experts' work by reasoning, capabilities, knowledge, and expertise. So I'll just highlight the abbreviated word. So 3, discuss ways in which information technology can affect managers and non-managerial workers. So IT impacts on. So what are IT's impacts on managers? Well, it reduces the number of middle managers, provides real-time information, less time for managers to make decisions, increases the supervision of geographical dispersed employees and teams. So that last point just means you could be anywhere working for the organization. You don't have to physically be in an office. So IT impacts on non-managers. So IT may eliminate jobs. It may have a loss of identity to some of the employees. So 4, identify positive and negative societal effects of the increased use of information technology. So we'll talk about the positive societal effects. So it has opportunities for disabled people, ones that can't work or can't commute to offices on a daily basis, flexibility with their work, anytime, anywhere. This is what a lot of people love about information systems or IT in general, is how you can work from home. Robots will take over mundane jobs such as like cleaning. A lot of people don't like cleaning, especially in like bathrooms. So hopefully robots will end up taking over those jobs that humans despisely hate. So improvements in healthcare. This is a really positive one, as we could see it a lot more how AI or technology in general is being used in the healthcare. So let's look at the negative societal effects. Well, it can cause health problems for individuals. It places employees on a constant call. That's where I'm talking about, like, you always have your phone on you. You always have a laptop or a screen in front of you where you can Zoom call someone. So it also has the potential to misinform patients about health problems. That's also bad. So that's it for our chapter 1. So thank you. Next video I'll explain chapter 2 and I'll do a summary of it as well.